Hannover 96. I can't remember the last time they were in the Bundesliga. Let me just quickly check. 2018 and 19. Generally that long, I've always remembered them being in the Bundesliga just because of how unique their badge was, because I was always interested by it. Anyway, for a team with £23 million transfer budget, that's 12 million more than Hamburg, and sure, the last spell they had in the Bundesliga was the year before these got relegated. It's still ridiculous how a team can be that rich, but yet this low in the system. So I think it's my job to not only bring Hannover back to the German league, but to win them their first ever Champions League. I'm hoping it's the first ever one because I'd be ruined in the comments. Hang on, these have got their stadium licensed. Am I the only one dead confused? The goal of this agreement is simple. We must win the Champions League with them. Well, I'll say simple. Anyway, we must win the Champions League with said team, and obviously we can't play a single game. Here's our best starting 11 going into the season. I've had to change the formation, but trust me guys, I'm not playing without centre midfielders and without wingers. But one positive is this better dude looks actually quite good at 19, at 70 overall, so I'm hoping I can make him into a wonder kid. I think one problem is obviously positions. We don't have a single winger, and they're either really good and up-and-coming players, or they're old. So that's also a problem I'm going to have to work around. We signed him obviously on a permanent. I don't know why it's doing a full reveal for him, Bedham. I definitely need to learn how to pronounce his name by the end of this video. We'll figure out how to. And as I said, I'm hopeful that he'll become our next big strike, because at 19 and 70 overall, plus like a guaranteed season in the Bundesliga too, where he should be able to terrorise defences, I think he'll be really good going. It's just the fact that we obviously need that winger, because obviously we're still on the hunt for wingers. But as I said, we just wanted to get him in on a permanent before he gets too good. You know what I mean? And we would be able to afford by the end of the season. But we still have to pay 3.9k, which is a tiny chunk out of our budget, surprisingly, considering you'd think that'd be a lot for a Bundesliga 2 team. But yeah, okay, we've probably overpaid. Oh my gosh, this dude's insane. Milan Muller is the next Muller. We've had Gerard Muller, we've had Thomas Muller, now we have Milan Muller. I cannot wait to use him. I guess I've found who's going to be staying in the CDM role. We wanted to get a good player, and we have. We have signed Florentina's Sottel. He is 76 overall and actually agreed to join the club. Obviously, with such high money for a Bundesliga 2 team, we were going to take advantage of that and just hopefully get ready to plough through the league. So he joins us for, I think, like 12 million, which again is half our budget. But if we want to get promotion, you have to spend big and earn big. Anyway, let's see what they give us for this Sottel signing. I'm hoping it's good. As I said, I think this was a really smart move to make, especially in a lower league for a 24-year-old who's still... Oh, it's 11.4, even lower than I thought. And we did get a B. I'm surprised we even attracted them to the league. Tell Sebastian Ernest, because obviously now with our new home prodigy, there's no point for these fifth-trained centre attacking midfielders. I mean, he clearly looks like an engine with a salary and that, but that's besides the point. We sell him for £1.75 million. We signed ourselves a new footballer to be our midfielder, Alinia from Getafe. He joined us for around 2 million, I think. I don't know why it's not doing a major signing, because he's now our highest main midfielder. Yeah, 3.65 million. Joined us from Getafe, and the game's given us an A, which is even better. Here is the squad going into the season. The only way I can see it going bad, really, is if the goalkeeper starts to go down because of his age, but I'm just going to hope that doesn't occur. If it does occur, we'll hit a roadblock, but do we even have a good backup keeper apart from him? Even then, though, he's actually an okay backup. He should be okay if that were to happen. Anyway, honestly, Sottil, Bear are a good front line, plus our new prospect, Muller, and Allen in the midfield added. Plus Kunze, becomes a centre-back, making him 73 overall, which is a big bonus for him. Hopefully this will be a good squad. Well, I knew the Bundesliga 2 was quite competitive, especially with the chaos around last season. I think, like, by the end of the season, it was just a free-for-all, but we're actually only 10th. We're closer to the relegation zone, I think, on positions and the promotion zone, but we aren't too many points away from promotion. Yep, 11 away from promotion, and I think 11 from relegation, so we are generally just jam-packed in the middle. So that's not good, really, is it? We're just going to have to hope that we can keep the upbeat. I hope it is a recent loss of form, because we do have -3 goal difference, whilst teams below us have better, so must be out going through a rough patch, possibly recently played likes of Hamsberg, Damast and FC Padron. And let's just hope that we can try and salvage the season. I think I've just figured out my problems, yay. Bedir has been growing to 73 and he's been injured. I'm not sure how long for, but in the sense that it's saying he's been injured for a while, in the sense that all his stats are starting to go down, I think he's hit a really bad injury. You've went down, I don't know how. You must have just been playing poorly. I've recently figured out Ziller is leaving at the end of the season, plus Muria, so I don't know how to fix this season. So we have said goodbye to a few players. I think Kirk left a while ago. It's just the fact that I never got to see it on camera. Murillo didn't want to sign a new contract, and ultimately we still managed to get 1.5 mil out of his contract. And his mistake, he's about to go a free agent. Last Parmas only gave him a till the end of the season contract, and Ziller is of course leaving at the end of the season. We signed a new right back in the departure of our Japanese right back. It's a Saganyon from Remnus. Obviously, he's younger than the other fella. Obviously, I didn't have to expect to sign one, so I was just hoping that if I'd won half decent. And 70 overall isn't that bad. We actually almost just done a miracle and got into playoffs with such a horrible start. I think we've got over double the points we did half the season. Hello, Charlie. Why you look like a little puppy again? So it is Hamburg and Stavmstead who go up. As I said, I am really surprised that we managed to almost pull up the ultimate comeback, in the sense that obviously we managed to revive the season. Anyway, looking down the table, we have FC Magdeburg, Hansa Rockstead, and going down with Kalkurcha SC going through the relegation battle to hopefully for them survive, and hopefully for the Bundesliga 3 team in the other position go up. Wolfsburg win the DFL Cup out over Bayer Leverkusen. Bayern Munich will get to the quarters, and we actually go out to the eventual champions at least. Numsberg in promotion, even with a Cologne comeback. As you can see, it was 2-0 on aggregate from the first leg, and Cologne almost saved themselves, but Numsberg with one goal gets them relegated, being that's a new addition to the league. And SC Saarbrücken also get promoted, meaning that we've got, how many? I just figure out. Well, we've got at least 6 new teams coming into the league for the first time, so that's fun. We don't care about pre-season. Frankfurt win the Super Cup, surprisingly. City win the Champions League. I was about to say Bayern must have done good because they never won the Pokal, but no. Marseille get to the semi-finals and Leipzig. Imagine that was the final. Man U win the Europa League over AS Monaco, and the Villarreal win the Conference League. Here's the squad at the end of the season. As I said, I think the Renaissance was just a bit too late. Obviously, everyone's starting to actually do good at this stage, and then obviously it all went downhill because obviously the season ended. But going into next season, I think we could be clear winners in contention for the title. But of course, at the same time, the addition of Cologne's not going to help. Plus, I don't know who else is going down. I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if it's Union Berlin, because for some reason this game just doesn't rate them. Well, I've almost forgot to check. Team stats, on the other hand, we have Sotil with the most goals, second Teluc joined with Bebe, and third goes to Nalis. I don't know what's going on there. Now that is sad. Muller, you've got the same amount of goals as Asleon, who joined halfway through the season as a right back. But at least you do make it up for being the top assister, with Sotil second and Bayer in third. If he never got the injury, I generally think he could have been 75 by the end of the season. Thank you. It was only when Brennan and Schalke to go down, but even then we almost saw Wolfsburg winner of the Pokal. What? Why are Wolfsburg 14th? And Leipzig won the league? The German league confuses me sometimes. It's none other than Bazanu of Southampton. The 21-year-old joins us to replace our newly deceased, I say deceased, that's not the right word, don't cancel me, our newly departed goalkeeper in Zinisman. Yeah, I definitely couldn't have narrated that anyway, it's not gonna lie. Anyway, he joins us, as I said. We obviously need that new goalkeeper, and I think he fits the gloves fine. As well, he is the same rating and like, I don't know, like 11 years younger, something ridiculous like that, so it's definitely worth it. Now he's about 14 years younger actually, isn't he? That keeper jersey's actually sick, not gonna lie. Anyway, he joined us for 10.6 million. What's the game giving us? I'm guessing a C. Yep, massive C. Yep, same rating. Our final player of the transfer window, it is Bakwa from Bordeaux. I think that's how you pronounce the team name. Anyway, I'm just going to keep the rest, obviously, in case we have a mid-season meltdown and have to somehow revive the season. Anyway, Bakwa joins us for 5.6 million. The game's going to give us a B+, and that was generally my first bid as well, so I'm actually quite happy. Well, at least we can't blame it on a mid-season breakdown, okay. It isn't that much of a surprise considering where the Brenham, Cologne and Schalke came down, and they're quite high quality teams. And on the other side of things is Starbucks, SV Walfel and Broxswick all going down at this stage. Well, Broxswick have to go through relegation playoff. I mean, there's literally one team so far which hasn't just changed back to its original division at the current standings. Also, one thing which probably makes the Bundesliga too hard than you'd think, the fact that you have to go, you could literally be third the entire season, drop down to position on the last day, and then you'll have to wait another year to go up, you know what I mean? You never expected this, did you? A mid-season transfer? That's very surprising of me. I definitely didn't announce for the first time that I'm going into the season expecting a mid-season transfer. Anyway, don't you think I forgot about the team RB Salzburg? We signed Pitowalski. Generally sounds like Mike Wazowski's lost brother. I'm surprised we even had the finances to pull it off, because I generally thought we were on cheese ring budget, because they just wouldn't budge. What's it giving us? A C. I generally tried everything and couldn't get lower. I'm surprised I can financially afford them. But anyway, we do sign a new centre-back who will take the number one centre-back role from Neumann. Actually squeezed into playoffs. I say squeezed in. We had a 10-point safety gap by the end of the season. Just goal differentials sort of killed us there if we don't get promoted. Anyway, it is Cologne and Schalke going up. We will have to go through the playoffs. Werder Bremen slipping up as well. St. Paul, who I think we're in promotion, so at some stage, I'm not sure. Anyway, Saarbrücken will have to go back through relegation playoffs with Rattenweg going down and SV Wolhof going down, meaning that the only two teams which can technically survive who got relegated are SC Osnabrück and Saarbrücken. I almost said Starbucks. And again, almost all the Bundesliga teams went straight back up, so did anything change there? Munich win that. Oh gosh, we went out to Belfield. Wait, we won 5-2 on aggregate against Osberg, so we are promoted. That's a positive. I'm glad. I don't sound happy, but I am. Because obviously now we're going to the Bundesliga. I'm hoping we'll have a decent financial situation, because obviously for a second tier team we did have quite a lot of money. Anyway, who else? Victoria Colin go up. Virtually any team who entered this league, apart from 2, have all disappeared. Don't care. Man City win the Super Cup final over Man United in a Manchester derby. Man City win the Champions League over Benfica. Interesting. Villarreal climb from the Conference League to win Europa League. I wonder if that will show. And AZ win the Conference League. Here's our squad at the end of the season. It really would have been a crime if we didn't get promoted. Payawaski actually grows quite a bit, so glad he's starting to fit in. Yeah, that squad's quite solid. I just feel like we need that midfield to improve, and then I feel like we should be safe. The only problem with short-term signs is the fact that it's short-term. I know Sotil gets us 16 goals, Pereira gets 15, and Muller and Bawaka both get 12 assists, so Bawaka claims to be a good sign, and invested in Pereira's career has paid off this season, because obviously last season he must have had a major injury. Sotil gets 10 assists, Alana gets 6, joins with Bawaka, who's actually done quite well this season for 27 appearances, with Pereira getting the third most assists. Hey yo, why has Bazunzi got more than Muller? That's me probably Muller. How are you allowing Bazuni to have the same amount of assists as you? What's that all about? I think we've found ourselves a really hot talent for the midfield department. We signed Moriba from the Argentinian league. I forgot what team. I think it was I don't know at this stage. I'm not really too good with my South American leagues now, am I? Clearly. Anyway, he joined us for about 15 million quid. The young midfielder hopefully will help us survive and will be a confident player. Also, I am questioning why they have a red shirt this season. I'm sure they predominantly wear white and green. Alright, tell us. Never actually heard it. I'm sorry if anyone's somehow watching and a fan of them. Oh, we do get an A. That's fancy. It is the season, as I said, I'm now at this career mode. I think I'm taking the approach of keep money and make sure you can make an emergency signing after season 1's antics. I mean, unfortunately, they had 5 million to spend, so that helped me learn. I think our squad's solid. I think it's just a bit of a dodgy bench, but for now, I think we're fine. Obviously, Bonzu's went up quite dramatically. I weren't sure if he'd be here by now, but yeah, he clearly is one of our main starters. Obviously, Muller and Sotil are our 2-star players, and I'll be interested to see how Morbia does, because sure, he is on the Argentine register, so he's just finished halfway through a season, technically. So let's just see how he gets used to be living in Germany. But clearly by his player image, it seems like he used to play for Leipzig. Positively take this. Okay, thank you. We're sitting 9th halfway through the season, which you think is middle of the shop, yeah. So currently middle of the shop, that's actually pretty good for a season 1, okay. I mean, sure, we lose like 2 games, we fall to 12th with Bochum, but then again, if we win a few games, we end up with Fresburg, so we're in an iffy situation. Anyway, let's hope we can replicate this form. I'd actually love for us to get Conference League this season. I think it's 7th, and we're not too far, but you know, small steps at a time. Hopefully we can just maintain form and stop ourselves from crumbling. This is a pleasant season 1, considering we always struggle to escape the League 2. The only reason why I'm not happy is the fact that we're generally 2 points away from Europa League or Conference League. I'm assuming that's Europa League and we have to go through qualifiers. But you know what I mean? We're nowhere near the Champions League positions, but the fact that we are already in the hunt for Europe is a positive sign. And we can't even say we fluked it, because obviously you can see we're quite secure there. And they too down, Leipzig quite low. Bochum and Hamburg survive, okay. It's actually Cologne and Hertha Berlin going down. Cologne seem to be a yo-yo club at the moment. And Wolfsburg, after winning the first Pokal the entire season, well, the career, they actually are in the danger of going down. Forgot to check the stats. That would have been sad. We have Pereira with 26 goals. 24 Bundesliga goals is fire, not gonna lie. Sotil gets 11 goals. Amoriba in his first season at the club gets 7, which is quite good for a midfielder. Bowaki has a terrible Bakwa, I've pronounced it wrong probably, hasn't had a good season. Anyway, Sotil gets himself 12 assists. Everyone else lacks behind with Torture, Con, Better, Amorba with 2, and Simmons, Besuko, Baka, Muller, Alan, Beznu, Bazanu with 1 assist. Why is Bazanu getting so many assists? Has he got like okay, calm down. 89 kicking, jeez. Okay, sorry I doubted you, mate. Just why has Muller been such a dodgy player? I'm sorry, but for an 85 rated player, there's some terrible statistics. We signed Loppy, no percent midfielder. He is probably in the candidates for obviously starter now. So we signed him from Mensa United and get another American League player, but I mean South American League player, but that doesn't matter, and we do get an A, which is quite handy. Our final signing of the season until us to the midway point, if we need any emergency signings, is Zimmer. He joins us from Torino, I believe. Anyway, I think he'll be a good asset to the team. And then why I say the dramatic intro, because he's literally the same reason as one of ours, just a lot younger. Anyway, let's just see what the price rating is. An A, okay, let's go. And has it gone up? Oh yeah. Third league, yeah, we are third in league. You know what, I'll take it. Sure, we're not the safest in the position, but we are doing exceptionally well for a season 2 in the Bundesliga. Like, the only team who's probably ever done better is probably Union Berlin, who got Conference League in their first season, then got Europa League, and now looking to get Champions League. Well, technically we're going to get Champions League quick, it's just the fact that we didn't do the Europa League season. But hopefully we can maintain this form and get some Champions League. I don't think it's necessary for change in this situation, so let's just see how it ends. Although Frankfurt do look well better than all of us. Well, that's a bad ending to the season. Yay. We seriously couldn't have messed that up anymore. Okay, thanks game. I mean, Bochum didn't have a better second half. They fell. Oh, we win the German Pokal. That's a positive, I guess. That's our first piece of silverware that actually matters. We have Emma Benefield surviving, meaning that Osberg will have to wait another season for their return. I remember that was Osberg. City win the Super Cup. I forgot that we didn't need to see the Bundesliga 3. Milan win the Champions League. I guess Villarreal couldn't do what I said they probably could do and win it, I guess. Benfica do win the Europa League, so I guess Villarreal are just like the Europa League team now. And you've seen the win the Conference League. Here's the squad at the end of the season. It seems that's World Cup season. And any of these... The Czech Republic qualified. Okay, that's interesting. Bazunu has grown so much. I thought, like, by now he would have hit 82 and stopped growing. It seems that he's a walkout now. Pereira gets 31 goals in one season. Hopefully that's going to help his potential even more. Yeah, I told you, if we just stick with him, I thought he'd be a good talent. If only he didn't get injured season 1, as I said multiple times. Sotil gets the second most goals, and Muller gets the third. Again, not the best considering he is 89 overall. But he does get the most assists by a mile, with Pereira and Sotil with the second, and Con and Morable and Bauak with with 3 assists. Bazunu still getting assists. What's this all about? We have made a signing. It is Busio. Why is it only giving us the mid-intro? What? He's 83 overall in 24. Jeez. Does this game not have an eye for prospects or something? Anyway, we signed the American from Gladbach. I was going to say Gladbach, but that sounded wrong for a second. We signed Junior Busio. What's giving us an A? Let's go. I think he's 83 overall, but hopefully we'll grow this season. Oh, he's went to 84. Here's our squad going into the season. Hopefully we can, you know, finish in European position this time. Again, I've just kept a bit of money left over, just in case the worst happens. Also, if you're wondering who these are, I just got them on free agents, and it turned out they've overtook whoever, yeah, Alana. So there goes one of our very first signings. I think there's only like two players left from season 1, not including youth players, so that's interesting. I just wanted to check my team halfway through the season. This team, though, man, this team's actually quite solid, not gonna lie. Hang on a second. Nah, what's going on there? Where's our right back? Someone must have hijacked our right back whilst we were simulating. That's a problem. I wasn't even going into that to show that. Out of all teams, you could have snuck off to Newcastle. I mean, Newcastle are rich and all, but still. We signed a player who's higher rated and younger. We signed Residence from Chelsea. Take that. I forgot your name. That's gonna show you why you don't mess with us. We signed the players 2 ratings higher and 3 years younger. 110 IQ move on our end. And we're still keeping a fairly young squad, because obviously so far we have been focusing on good young talent and ones which you'd never usually see. Well, I've probably signed this dude before in a past one and not remembered. But anyway, we signed for around 40 million, so only 4 million more than... No, it was around 10 million more than Newcastle paid, but still. Well, just under 10, but that's not the point, is it? Anyway, the right back joins us and is up to 84. Not so smart now, Newcastle, are ya? The Redford goes Q, the Bulls go raw, the Wolves go ow, and the Dortmunds go wall, the Red Lions go the Munich Bear goes raw, and the Augsburg thing goes but this one sounds that no one knows. What does the Hannover say? Win, 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 win the league. Win, 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 win the league. Third season in the league. What does Hannover say? Bye, 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 Dortmund. Bye, 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 Leipzig. Bye, 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 Wolfsburg. I'm gonna stop now. Sorry, I just had to get my expressions out. We have won the league. And we're topping it. Well, that's obvious, isn't it, me? And we top it with like a few games to spare at least. You win this round, Ryan Munich. How on earth did Jana and Rensburg get their fair play? They're in the third tier, aren't they? Where did we go out? Nah, I'm not having it. We lost to Hoffenheim. Schalke get promoted. We win the German Super Cup on pens. That's another one for our cabinet. Milan beat the Super Cup. Well, win the Super Cup. That's an interesting Sociedad badge if they've changed it. The Champions League one is by Man United. Yeah, why do I feel like the Sociedad badge has changed? I'm losing it. Juventus win the Europa League. Where did we go out? We went out to Juventus at least. That's not a very nice game. And Real Madrid win the Conference League. Why are they in the Conference League in the first place? Don't ask me. Why is this Conference League final goated? Like, that could easily be the Champions League. And some says that could be the semi-finals of the Champions League with Ajax Leverkusen. You got Feyenoord in there as well, and Leon. You got Lazio. What is it? Why is this went so well? Well, why is this Conference League so good? The team at the end of the season, we are now the go-to-this team of all time. We got Morbius. Yeah, man, we got Morbius Bazunu, who I didn't expect to even still be at the team at this stage. I thought he'd, like, stop growing by now. I'm not complaining. We've got, like, the world's best Irish player probably in history. Our new right-back's fitting in well. You better have done good this season, Muller. Pereira gets the most goals with 35, 27 and 1 Bundesliga season, which is quite good. We are Sartil with 22 goals in total this season, and Bawaka with 11 goals. At least he got 6 this year, Muller. Seriously, what has happened to your career considering you're 92 overall? We have Sartil with 16 assists, Muller with 13, and Bawaka with 7. One problem with Bawaka, even though he's doing good stats, he's barely growing. I mean, now he is a walkout of his FIFA, but you know what I mean. We sign a new centre back, he's called Otero, and if I'm right, I'm in the belief that he could be the Sergio Ramos region, because he's currently 84 in Spanish, so hopefully we can get him to be as good as Prime Ramos. Just hopefully he doesn't get sent off every game. Anyway, he obviously joins us, and from none other than Bayern Munich, so just to rub salt in their situation. He does it for 47.7 million, and hopefully he'll be a rock-solid defender in our back line. And another midfielder, I feel like I'm the reverse Liverpool, I'm signing no forwards, but we say Perron from Wolves. Let's see what the game gives us for this signing. Maximum Perron. Let's see how it rates him. He's 84 overall, which is a positive, unless he goes up. Nope, he stays the same. Through the season, we sit first, not that comfortably this time, but still, at least we're first. It's obviously better than being fourth or something. Just going down the table, we do see Osberg in relegation playoffs with Schalke and Werder Bremen in player relegation, and Might on the edge, really, and St. Pauli are actually doing decent. So let's see if we could end this season well. That should be sacked. Oh wait, no, we don't want to be sacked. We only finished third this season, not even second, but it was by a point. Goal difference wasn't that good though. Going down the table, the relegated teams are Mainz and playoffs, Schalke and Werder Bremen. Oh, well, at least we did the DFL Pokal. And that was the important thing. Are we in a Champions League? No, we're not. We go out to Inter, who eventually make it to the final. Might actually go down with Cologne making it through. And the other competitions, Man United win the Super Cup, PSG win the Champions League, Dortmund win the Europa League on pens, and Wolfsburg win the Conference League. Also, can I be the one to note, Real Madrid haven't been in the Champions League for so long, the past few seasons, they've been in Conference League and that. End of season stats, Pereira has 30 goals, I think a career best. We have Sotil with 25 goals, and Bakwa with, I think, his best season with 12. Most of this goes to Muller. Finally, he starts to perform. Still not really living up to the infamous German name, but Muller. Perron with the second, and Sotil with the third. We signed probably Croatia's best player at this stage, now that Modric is here, and that's it. We signed Cavaldio. Obviously, a really easy pick for a up-and-coming centre-back. And I know it's pretty boring in the sense that everyone picks him, but at this stage, I feel like we should just be able to win the league. I can't really rely on youth anymore. I would have loved to sign this Italian fella from Everton, but they said he was too important, and he was 87 overall at 21, so I would have loved him, but Hey ho, is still a really good player. 96.8 million from Chelsea. Former Leipzig man, what's he giving us? An A. Let's go. We signed Blades. We definitely overpaid. I overestimated his value, and also I keep rhyming. So I chucked in my current start left back as he's 30, but he realised generally with the wage I had, I still probably could have accepted his contract and not went into bankruptcy or anything. So that's sad. Anyway, the youngster joined us not from Barca, but from I think Milan. Yeah, Milan. Anyway, he joins us. I still love the Hannover kit, even considering how different it is, because usually they're like white and green, aren't they? And I'm expecting an F here generally. That's how unconfident I am in this transfer deal. Because I put Con in, who's 30 and would have at least had 2 years before he went down. Yeah, at least he's 88. Here's our squad going into the season. If we don't pick up our first Bundesliga or a quarterfinals in the Prem, I am genuinely going to cry because this team is goated. Apart from the fact that we signed like 70 midfielders regularly and still haven't found like that breakthrough one. Anyway, let's just see how we're doing halfway through the season. At this stage, top two is almost a requirement. Just looking at this title race, Dortmund with 2 losses, us with 1 loss, Dortmund with 41 points, us with 40. Third place Bayern 31. If we don't finish top 2 at least, I feel like that we could be sacked. That's how, as I said, how realistically we shouldn't be able to throw this away. No need for the mid-season transfer. Currently, Armin Bayerfield, Hamburg in relegation third, SC Puglia in relegation playoff, and Leverkusen 15th. What? I actually realised that I probably should have signed Frimpong as left back, but maybe his career's not going that well if he is still at Leverkusen. Also, I know Frimpong's a right back. I just meant I could traverse his position. We have won the league, almost invincibles. Yep, we win our first Bundesliga as manager. Benfield, Polio, and Leverkusen all go down. Well, Leverkusen can still stay up, but that would be quite a shock storyline. Now that the Cup's a player, let's see. Whilst we wait for Cup results, Bayern gets himself 32 goals. Bawaka gets 22. Sotil 20, even with being injured for a majority of the season. Yikes. But that's sad. Peron gets the most assists with Busio, Muller and Bawaka with the second, and Bayern gets the third. Bundesliga Pokal goes to Dortmund. We exchange trophies. That's still to play. Leverkusen went down on 5-3 in aggregates. Now, why have Leverkusen been relegated? What's that all about? Have they lost everyone? Even then, they still have like quite a lot of good players who grow. Even if they have lost Frimpong, Hereski's older. We do win the German Super Cup, which is a positive. Don't win pre-season. PSG win the Super Cup. Real Madrid win the Champions League. We go out in the semi-finals. So, one more step and we should be able to win the Champions League. Europa League goes to Chelsea 4-0 over Porto in a thrashing. And Leicester do win the Conference League. Also, why am I in danger of being sacked? FIFA, are you on something? The team itself's happy. We've just won the league, almost unbeaten. Almost won the Champions League. Got a few manager of the month to be pocket. And yeah, we're on the edge of being sacked. We signed Milan's Beretti, and listen, now, if I get sacked for this signing, I sort of give up with the managers because the team's backing me. They've asked me to sign a new midfielder. I've signed the new midfielder, who's also going to be on highest rated, excluding Muller. So, what do the boardsmen even want? EA, fix your game. It's not because of bad hap. It's not because of the squad or anything. I've been sacked. They're trying to improve the squad. Listen, I wouldn't be too bothered if I accidentally spent like a ridiculous amount of money on some useless players. The board wanted me to sign a midfielder. This has got to be evidence. We just won the league, got to the semi-finals of the Champions League. All of this whilst in season 6 or 7 with a team in the Bundesliga too. And ever since we've been in the Bundesliga, we've always been title contenders. Realistically, I'd be a club legend. Not even trying to over-exaggerate. But if some manager walked into a Bundesliga 2 team who's currently like, where are they, 6th in real life, and just started signing tons of youth players to set up the squad, and even got them a DFL Pokal, a Bundesliga playoffs trophy, a Bundesliga itself, at a Champions League semi-final, and you told a Bundesliga 2 team that they'd do that in 7 years, they'd laugh at you, wouldn't they? So, I just don't get this game anymore, I'm sorry. Thank you for watching. I know I just sounded depressed. I was on 13k a week. I was saving the board a fortune. If I was at Bayern Munich, I'd be being paid about like I don't know, 80k a week compared to that. Jeez, I was on Mickey Mouse wages still. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Also, why were Leverkusen relegated? I'm still trying to grasp my head around that one.